What if your resistance was sacred? What if the things you keep putting off, the dreams, the priorities, the healing, were actually portals to your own deeper becoming? In this episode, we return to the soft, spacious field of real conversation with my dear friend Desi Diamani, where we explore the messy, meaningful intersections of passion, purpose, and presence. Let's get into it. Welcome to Star Potential, a podcast where we explore the meaning of our existence while having a few laughs and sometimes tears through stories from the road of life. I'm your host, Julie Jo Hughes. As a stage performer, my life is quite literally about song and dance. I believe that life here on Earth is a playground for discovery, not a contest to be won. We ask questions together like, how do I evolve my consciousness? And how do you sing a passionate ballad when there's an old guy in the front row with his balls showing? True story. Stick around for these fun conversations. Welcome back to Star Potential. I'm your host, Julie Jo. And my girl, Desi Diamani, is back for her second visit on Star Potential. And just like last time, she brings her grounded wisdom, open heart, and honest reflections on what it really looks like to evolve in real time. Together, we explore how structure can serve your spirit, why vulnerability is essential in relationships, and what it means to recalibrate to your home frequency, especially when you're managing multiple passions or moving through a personal detox. We talk about letting go of perfection, honoring the seasons of relationships, and the quiet power of doing just 5 minutes a day of what actually matters. This conversation is an invitation to reflect, to return to your why, and to remember that healing doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be real. And just like the last time Desi was here on Star Potential, we have plenty of laughs along the way. My dog, Declan, likes to make his appearances as well. So make sure you pour yourself a nice mug of coffee or your beverage of choice and join Desi and me for a little chat today. Pretend you're in the room with us because I think as you listen to the conversation, that's how it will feel. Enjoy.
We're rolling. Rolling with the homies.
Rolling with my homies. Right? They do both those lines. Aren't they coming out with some kind of Clueless
thing?
They
are. I think it's a revamp.
Yeah. That's really exciting for...
R.I.P. Brittany Murphy.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
Still sad.
It is still sad. Yeah. Desi, welcome back to Star Potential.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, everyone.
It's always so much fun getting together with you. And I mean, what could go wrong? We just hit record and see what happens.
What my mom called.
Well, that's true. We're probably going to include that in the outtakes.
It was good. We're trying to plan dinner for my dad for his birthday. And nice. I have to work tonight, so I'm trying to squeeze it all in. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Well, that's kind of a good segue. We were talking today about all the passions that you have and all the things that you do. And I was like, man, how do you even prioritize? Like, how do you know which thing to work on? I'm assuming you have kind of like general, like at the beginning of your week, do you kind of have certain days designated? Like, I'm going to work on these projects, and then this time is for me. Like, do you do that?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Oh, good. Then we're more alike than not.
You know, I had... back in the day, a Stephen Covey planner. Did you ever have one of those?
Yes, I did.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because I was an intern at a church, and so that was their big thing, and so I had that, and I think I used it for a week. I do, from time to time, try to plan out my schedule, but most of the time, it's like the wind, and it blows, and it carries the dust the direction it needs to go in the day that it blows.
But somehow it all works out,
it does.
Right?
I have a general idea of like my plans. For example, my work schedule is pretty much set for the week. I know it 2 weeks in advance. And if I don't change the schedule, then I have those things. And so I try to put, oh, hi, Declan.
There's Declan.
Yeah, he's my best friend when I'm here.
He does love you.
He's licking my foot again, just like he did last time. Look at sir.
You have tasty feet, apparently.
Yeah. Well, now he's going to chew on the bone. So
there we go.
Anyway, I'm I digress. Where was I?
Yes, you have your set schedule that you kind of plug in first.
So it's Monday, right? Today's
Yes.
Monday, I think.
Yes, it is.
It's a Monday. And obviously I was able to plan. Yeah, he's just chomping away.
Yeah, if you're hearing weird licky and bitey noises, that's my dog underneath the table. It is what it is. Carry on.
I just try to fit everything in the day. So like today's Monday, and so we planned I slept in because I worked till super late, and then planned my drive time. Also put in some time for a project I'm working on. So I squeezed
you did some work before. That's right.
Squeezed in about 45 minutes of book design. I'm working on a children's book for a lady. We're in the finishing stages almost, sort of, maybe this month. Anyway, do that, brunch, podcast, sit in traffic, go to dinner with the family, go to work.
Wow.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
That's kind of how I plan stuff too. It's like, I feel like that works somehow. Is it like you take the stuff that's like, that has definite structure, like a shift or whatever. You plug in that stuff first, and then you just kind of find the places where everything else fits in around it. I feel like that works well for our personality types. It's like we need some structure, but we can't be completely structured or we feel like caged, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I took that acting class.
Yeah.
Shakespeare 2 weeks in a row. So it was Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in Pasadena, and I live in Orange County, so that's like an hour.
It's really the majority of the day.
And an hour and 15 minutes of driving. So I would wake up early, go to the coffee shop, get in like an hour, hour and a half of, whatever I was working on in the day. Either it was the book or it was social media projects I'm doing for some of my bands. Or even just working on my homework for the class just at the coffee shop. And then I would sit in the car on the way, do my vocal warm-ups and my body warm-ups as much as I could while driving, and then take the class. And then come back, do the thing, have dinner with the family, because my sister's with us right now and she's leaving in a couple weeks for the UK.
Yeah.
So trying to spend as much time with family, and then on some nights having to work, or during the day having to work. Like there was one day I got called in to do the morning shift at my job, and then they're like, we know you're working tonight, and can you extend? And it was like a 12.5-hour day, but it was fun.
Okay.
I live for that kind of adventure.
Yeah. I mean, the overtime pay is nice, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's doable if you know that it's like a one-off. Like you're not doing this 4 days a week with overtime. I mean, not usually.
Right.
Unless you're in like tech rehearsals and stuff, right?
Yeah. I don't think I would want to do like, I don't know how people do like what is it? A 40, what is it?
40-hour work week?
No, it's not it's like 10-4, like 40 hours in like 4 days.
Yeah.
So they're doing like 10-hour days. I don't think I'd want to do that. So 4 days on, 3 days off. I think firemen do that, but they're 24-hour shifts. Don't quote me.
Yeah, that's true.
I have cousins that are in the fire department, and I don't know your schedule. I'm so sorry.
Well, and the nurses that are doing like 12-hour days.
I know.
And they'll do 3 or 4 of those in a row, right?
Yeah.
And then you do have several days off, but like you need all of those to recuperate from the 3 days you worked.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm raising the glass to all the first responders out there.
All right, let's do it.
Woo! Firemen, nurses, doctors.
Yes.
Paramedics. All the life-saving people.
True.
I don't save lives. I do bring happiness to people, though. Just
do
like
bring
you.
joy. Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Joy givers.
We are the joy givers. Yeah. Which is also important. It's just not life-saving. But hey, you never know.
There's an Elton John song.
Which one?
Someone save, someone save, someone save my life tonight.
Aww.
Anyway, sometimes music does that.
Absolutely.
Music, arts.
Do you get super carried by the music when you're meditating? Like, does it dictate kind of where you go? I just find that some of us are more susceptible to music than others. Like when I'm in any altered state of mind at all, I'm super susceptible to the music. Like it's very important. If the music starts to go kind of dark, like I get kind of like overwhelmed and scared.
Yeah, I think it depends. I generally, if I have music playing with meditation, it's more instrumental and probably more on the soothing lines. But I have done like meditation while I'm writing, and I'm usually listening to whatever's on my playlist at the time. Sometimes it's the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack because I really like that music, but that's not lyrical. But if it's lyrical, I might follow along with the lyrics.
Yeah.
And go on some kind of a tangent.
True. Yeah, I was specifically talking about the feeling of instrumental music.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the lyrics
But yes,
can definitely
instrumental
pull you.
music really does make a difference because if it starts to go more moody, I definitely don't like to go that direction. I wonder if there's a reason for that. I wonder if I should go that direction.
That's what I was wondering.
See,
maybe you should lean into that and explore.
Maybe if I lean in and explore what it is that
makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, maybe we should try it sometime.
Maybe we should try it sometime. Yeah, I recently did a float therapy session, as you know. And that was interesting because it was sensory deprivation. You know, you don't see anything, you don't hear anything. And I thought I was going to go into such deep relaxation. Turns out I really rely on the music as a crutch when I'm meditating because I can kind of follow the music and it's easier for me to not get as distracted by my thoughts. But when I had zero music, it's like just I could hear every single thought screaming at me and I was like, oh my God, it's so loud up here, you know?
So, okay, when you do the float therapy, are you like in salt? Like, how does that work? Explain. Like
so
I'm 5.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're in the bottom of a ship. Like you pull open what looks like a freezer door, you know, but inside you can't see anything. It's so dark, and she just tells you and kind of splashes her hand in it and says, "This is 2 feet of body temperature water. There's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in it." Which is what makes your body buoyant. And then they give you a little kind of a styrofoam type thing for your head to rest on just because your head's so heavy. And you do the whole time I kept having this sense like my head was going to fall in the water. And it wasn't, but I had that sense. It was like hard for me to completely relax. And then it was like every time I would just start to go into deeper relaxation, like almost like that startled feeling like when you're falling, I would have that and it would bring me out of it again. So I was never able to like really deeply relax like I thought I would.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just kind of anxious the whole time.
Afraid to let go.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my thoughts are like so freaking loud because it's so quiet in there that I was also really tormented by my mind. Like, why can't you just be quiet and enjoy this experience?
Now
you know?
I want to try that.
It's interesting.
I've never done float therapy, but that sounds, I'm used to silence. I mean, I do listen, I'll meditate with music, but I don't mind the silence because I'm learning how to like do the breath.
Yeah.
So that's a good way for me if there's too much noise is to just calm myself with like box breathing. So breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4.
So I really want you to try it now and see if you're able to do that because that's what I was trying to do was, okay, I'll just focus on my breath.
Yeah.
What happens is your body's all like submerged. Like your belly and legs are pretty much floating, but kind of the top of your chest is and your neck is just a little bit under the water. And so, you know that feeling like when you're in the hot tub for too long and you're like, I just feel hot. Like I need to get my heart up above the water. Yeah. I had that feeling like the whole time. And so when I would try to just focus on my breathing, I felt like I couldn't take a deep breath because I felt like it was so humid in there and I couldn't, it was like there was this kind of pressure from the water on my chest and I felt like I couldn't fully inhale. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like people find this so deeply relaxing, but I don't know. I couldn't fully relax. So, and I thought like maybe it was, you know, I thought if I just keep trying to focus on my breath, I'll be okay. But it made me like more frustrated because I couldn't fully go into my breath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was interesting.
I'm thinking about just hearing your story,
Yeah.
I wonder, because I've gone like snorkeling, and that's a very meditative experience. And I just remember when I lived in Mozambique, you know, all you have is your breath and your thoughts.
Wow.
And you're floating on top with the little flippers, maybe. And I just remember looking. So when you were talking about your experience, my mind was going to, I'd be sitting there, and I probably would start imagining that blue starfish that I saw at the bottom of the coral reef, thinking,
cool.
if there was anything else that I would rather be, it'd be a blue starfish staring at the sun, staring back at me. This is a little poem that went through my mind when I was floating in the African river. I can't think of the sea over there. Indian Ocean.
Okay.
Indian Ocean over in Mozambique.
Wow.
But when you were talking about your experience, you're like feeling the sinking thing. I'm like, I'm seeing the starfish again. And I'm like, I'm going into my own meditative state just hearing you talk about your experience.
It's crazy how we could like have the same experience and two completely different experiences of it, right?
Yeah, except I haven't done float therapy. So, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm
curious for you to try it.
I know. We're going to have to do a little follow-up session.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you'll come back to us and say like, well, actually, I quite enjoyed my float. I mean, I'm glad I did it. Like, I was very curious about it, but it showed me the places where I still obviously have some hangups, you know? Yeah.
I think, what isn't that what life is? It's
totally.
all about learning how to let go of control and
in different types of situations,
and then
right?
the self-judgment. I mean, we were talking about this at lunch, and about when I took this class and how I'm learning that it's okay to not know.
Yeah.
It's okay to not get it right. It's okay to whatever, but you know, when it comes to, it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to essentially try something, and
right.
And then for me, like I'm sure I would probably have those thoughts going, well, am I doing this right? Isn't this, it's supposed to be different, like blah, 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 blah. Because I think I could just be me. It could be talking about myself, but.
No, I have it.
You know, like it's that, well, isn't it? Maybe it's supposed to be this way, and this is somebody else's experience, and this is what I'm experiencing, so am I doing it wrong? It's like, well, maybe you are, but maybe you aren't, because is there a right or is there a wrong?
Exactly. I've spent so much of my experience trying to get it right, only to discover maybe there never was a right, you know?
Well, Declan is obviously chewing his bone the right way.
I know, it is driving me crazy. Because I know your microphone is picking that up. But yeah, do you think we could maybe let this go for a while? Could we maybe, I'll put that out of frame here. Yeah, could you maybe, I know that you really like your bone, but yeah, could you maybe be okay without it? I know. Yeah, you're a good boy. We'll have it later. Yeah. We'll have it later. Thank you.
He's the cutest. He's got the cutest face.
I know. I wish the camera was picking him up right now because he is adorable. He's like, what? What'd I do?
It's like, I was just trying to put in my 2 cents. You know?
No,
I was just like...
Now he's crying.
Chomping at the bit for the moment.
Yes, I know you want it. You can have it later. Okay? It was just kind of noisy. I know. It's part of being a showbiz family. I'm sorry. You can't... Oh, now he's pawing at me. We can't always have what we want when we want it. The universe...
can't always get what you want.
If you try sometimes,
you just might find you get what you need.
Oh, there's a lot of great music from that time period.
Yeah.
You know, we said we were fine without the ceiling fan, but I'm sweating.
You're just hot.
Maybe that's what it is. Oh, check me out.
Yeah, girl, yeah.
Let me sip this.
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm warm, but...
Okay, good. I'm glad.
I'm also in jeans.
I know, you're dressed a lot warmer than I am, but I could be still experiencing detox symptoms. Who knows?
You could be.
Mm-hmm. I've been going through all kinds of weird symptoms this week. It's been a good lesson in not resisting when you're learning to let go of things. Sometimes physical toxins exiting your body.
I've never experienced that in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding.
When we met, you were going through a huge transition.
Yeah.
Because you had been super sick, and then your naturopath gave you a like very specific diet, right? And supplements. And
that was 17 months ago, actually. Yeah, because it was January. I mean, we met before, I think. But
yeah,
when
a little
we started
bit before
doing our project, the first time we got together to sing, I had this like horrible cough. I'm like, oh my God, this chick's gonna think I'm like sick and gonna be contagious, and we had to sing. And I started this protocol. I went completely vegan for, it was 3 months, but it was specifically for 3 weeks. I had to cut out like wheat, oats, corn, and then I was on like 37 pills 3 times a day, all these supplements.
That's right.
And it was a full-time job just doing that. But it was really totally worth it. But then, like, as my body began to detox, it took, I think, about like 6 months before my hair really began to start showing a difference, because my hair began to detox, and it was like I was losing hair. It wasn't growing. And my hairdresser now is like, wow, your hair is so much healthier than it was. And I'm like, it's really interesting to think of like how it detoxed and how my body detoxed. And now we were talking about like sensitivity. I'm very, very sensitive, especially when it comes to like fragrances. If the fragrance is like artificial and chemical, I have a response, like either physical or if I eat something that's very chemical, I'll like get a cough like immediately.
And I'm sure you feel it in other people, like even just someone walking by with artificial fragrance, it's like my nose is immediately like, whoa.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, do you have to wear that much perfume at the gym?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Maybe it is just my sensitivity, and maybe they're not actually wearing that much stuff. I don't know. Now
I
don't
do
know.
think that when you've cleared out all that stuff, you're definitely a lot more sensitive to it than they have become really desensitized to it, you know?
So like, I don't smell it.
Yeah. It's like me telling you, we were at the end of that gig and I was like, why does it smell so strongly of meat in here? And my saxophone player was like, I think that's just your sensitivity. Like nobody else really smells that. And I'm like, what? It's so strong. But it's just that when everything's like cleaned up, all the senses are enhanced. Yeah.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes. So it makes you wonder, like, what have I been missing out on because I was desensitized, you know?
I was just going to say that.
Of course you were.
Yeah, I know that word, desensitized. And I think culturally we've been desensitized. Everything that we experience dulls us and makes us less aware, because I was walking out to my car to get my cup for the coffee, and I was walking barefoot in the grass, and I realized, it feels so good to walk barefoot in the grass. And I'm like, oh, what if there's bees? So I walked around to the cement, but I'm like, we don't ground ourselves, and we don't stand in nature like we should. And if we do, it actually realigns our nervous system and all of the meridians and every single part of our line gets put back into place just by sitting in the sun, standing out in nature, breathing,
totally
detoxing through, getting all the chemicals out of our body. It's a time consuming process, being healthy, being whole, being in our true state.
Yeah,
and it's possible.
It is possible. And then you start craving more of that because it feels so much better. It does take a commitment, but then again, like that's what unhealthy habits are too. Like, you've just repeated those behaviors over and over, but if you can replace those with cleaner, healthier ones, then those habits serve you so much better. So it's worth it, and you want to put in the time.
Absolutely.
That was one of the things I did like Wednesday or Thursday when the detox symptoms were so heavy and I felt like I had the flu. I went and just I was like, are people going to think I'm crazy? But it was Bronislav's idea. He's like, just go walk in the grass for a little bit. And I was like, oh, maybe I should. So I did that for, 10 or 15 minutes, just literally like walking in circles out there in the grass. But my headache like lessened and I just felt better by the time I came inside. It's like just recalibrates you.
Totally.
It's amazing.
Yesterday, and I didn't walk in the grass for 15 minutes, that would be nice. But I'm allergic to grass.
Oh, yeah.
But I still like going barefoot because it just feels so good. But yesterday I was feeling a little bit tired. I mean, I was driving home from Northern California because I had a show the night before, and then had a family thing, and then I had to go to work. And so I was like really long day. So by the time it's time for my show, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But I sat there in my place right before my performance, and I was humming for 10 minutes.
That's what you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, where did I have my hands? I had my hands like this, you know, and then I had them like this, and then I had them on my knees, and I was just like, and then like different keys, like, nobody could hear me humming, just me in my own head, literally. And it took me up into this place where I felt so alive and present, and I really had a good show. I mean, I enjoyed the show, and I know that everybody else did too, but I came off of my acting show, like, that was such an amazing thing. I love my job. I love that I get to do this every single day.
Yeah.
Not every day, but, you know, the days that I do it.
A lot of days, yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. So you were able to raise your own vibration, and then...
By vibrating with my vocal cords.
I mean, that makes perfect sense now that we're saying it out loud, you know? But I'm so glad you pointed that out to me, because humming seems like such a simple thing, but it's like you're getting double duty too, because you're warming up your vocal cords, but you're also like recalibrating to your kind of like home frequency.
Yeah.
And then the sound itself is healing.
Yeah.
And so it's sending like energy throughout your body. Amazing.
And not only that, it's sending the energy through your body, but it's taking you, me, us out of our normal thought process.
Yeah.
So it's beyond those, okay, so you're floating in this water going, oh, the thoughts are so loud, but it's like I'm humming, and now it's like my body is already beyond my brain, because my brain is trying to keep me locked into this world of like sense.
Yes.
Desensitization. And now I'm humming, so it's going beyond, and it's almost as if you connect to the greater beyond, because you are outside of your mind, but you're still present.
Right.
But you're doing something that's adding to and bringing in. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I would think it would have similar benefits to why we chant Om, you know?
Yeah.
Because Om is half hum.
Yeah.
You know, the back half of it is a hum. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. I wonder if I would have had a different experience floating if I would have hummed.
Huh.
Okay, I have a question. When you are following a guided meditation that has Om in it, do you have to sing the same pitch that?
Probably.
I do too. But I remember when I was in college, one of my acting classes, we would do this. We would like chant an Om and meditate, and it would kind of bother me that like the instructor had one tone and he was male, and everyone would match that tone, and I was like, but it seems intuitive to me that my home tone would be higher than his.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I should be on my own tone, like wherever it feels natural to me. And I remember him even saying, like, find the tone that kind of feels like home to you. Like it shouldn't feel like a strain. It shouldn't feel like a reach, you know?
Yeah.
And so me trying to do it right in the class, but also exploring.
Get it right.
I remember like I would just pick my own tone and be like, well, this feels like home to me. But then I could also feel this other part of me that's like, everyone else is on this note though. It feels weird that I'm not there with them.
Yeah.
It felt like non-unity, you know?
Yeah.
So then I would succumb and just go down to the lower note because that's where everyone else was. And still, as you can tell, like 15 years later, I'm still questioning like, should I have chosen my own note? I'm still not sure.
Hey, look, when you hummed, I went to the same note as you, so I get it. I totally get it. And I was like, well, it would be cool to harmonize with you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like it's more natural in a hum to want to be unison, right?
Yeah. But even in the I mean, if the guy's voice is down here, shalom.
You can still go there, right?
Yeah. But did you want to go there?
I mean, I did because that's where you were.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. Like if they're super low though, sometimes I am like, forget that. Yeah, like
whoa. Hold on, I gotta take a breath for that one. Shake it down.
let's see how low we can get it.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult
It
to
is
get that
difficult.
low voice in this position.
So then it's not relaxing anymore.
No.
Kind of goes against.
No. Okay. Now it's getting warm.
Now, woo, it's getting hot in here.
Certain language sounds just definitely bring up the temperature.
Especially when they're
my right
breathy.
foot's falling asleep. I'm gonna adjust.
That
'Cause
does
I'm very
happen.
tall, everybody. If you didn't notice, 'cause
Very
I'm
tall.
sitting.
Very tall.
Now I'm. The other foot's gonna fall asleep in about 10 minutes. So
The other shoe's gonna drop.
the other shoe's gonna drop, and then I'm gonna have to make an adjustment in the way I'm sitting. But for now, this is what it is.
So, well,
I have an armrest.
that's what I get for inviting you on a podcast that I'm like, oh, but we also film it.
You know, I love it.
That's why there's no artwork behind us yet. We're getting there.
Well, let's imagine the artwork behind you.
Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. I'm gonna superimpose something on a green screen anyway. So, so we were just kidding about there being nothing behind us. Oh God, that artwork, I paid a fortune for it. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ugh. I wasn't there when she bought it, but I definitely was sending my moral support.
Yes, I definitely texted you about it.
100%.
Yes.
I was sending you like good vibes for a good deal.
You were like, you know what? You're worth it.
You are.
And so I was like,
10,000%.
doggone it. You're
and
right.
beyond. That's right. Yeah. No limits.
No.
No limits. You deserve the best. I mean, the Mona Lisa behind you.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Just kidding.
My dog painted this. Because I wouldn't give him his bone.
He's
Poor
knocked
guy.
out, by the way.
Yeah, he's out now.
His nervous energy is gone. It was the humming.
That's what it was. I should have taken the bone away. If you have a bone, you'll chew it. You know, that's your lesson today. You take that bone away and you'll go to sleep. I'm not sure if that's the lesson.
Never mind.
I know where you're going.
I know where your mind was going.
Yes, you do.
I was tracking with you. Woo.
Oh, living on the edge of responsible is a phrase that we have tossed around between us a couple times. When I first told you that I was going to have a podcast and you were like, oh my gosh, I love that for you. I want to have a podcast too, but I'm not there yet. Like in priorities or whatever. And then somehow we decided that the name of your podcast should be On the Edge of Responsible or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was around. I probably wrote it down somewhere.
I think
my notes.
I think you have a note about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Living on the edge of responsible. Or yeah, it was something like
yeah,
that.
It was like at the edge or on the edge of responsible, something like that. And we're like, yeah, that's pretty much our life motto.
Yeah.
It's like we're aiming for responsible. We're not quite getting there, but it's we are not type A personalities.
No.
You know?
Maybe like A-, B+.
Yeah, I think I'm more B+. I think for a long time I wanted to believe that I was A-.
Yeah, I'm definitely not A-.
I'm not A- for sure. But if it gets in like the C range, that's when I'll really start beating myself up.
Yeah.
You know, you can do better than this. But I'm becoming more and more okay with even like B- work.
Yeah.
You know? It's like done is better than perfect. You know?
Yeah. Done is better than perfect. Mm-hmm. That's a hard one to hear.
I know. That's why. That's why it stings a little.
Yeah, I think B- is good. we talked about it earlier, but you guys weren't in on the conversation. But
That's
we'll
right.
let you in a little bit now.
Yeah.
In that acting class, what I recognized about myself is that, I really am so performance driven that it sometimes takes the fun out of the fun things. And I want it to be perfect, done right, flawless, the most excellent ever. And that's not always what it needs to be. And sometimes it is just about showing up and being present and being a part of the process that I'm going through, or you're going through, or we're going through. But yeah, so getting done, not perfect.
Yeah, done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect. You definitely want to cook a cake without the middle falling in. I've done that before. I don't bake. I do not. Well, actually,
I love to bake.
I'm better now at baking, but I made a cake one time and the middle sunk in. Don't ask me how. I don't know what ingredient I missed, but
it might have been the temperature too. That can be, or if you check on the cake a lot, it'll do that. Yeah.
I don't know.
You're a better cook than I am, and I can bake. So there we go.
We can start a kitchen.
We can. Yeah.
Cabaret.
Yes. I think that why our personalities have trouble with a phrase like done is better than perfect is because we like doing a lot of different types of things. And we also have this kind of underlying belief, I'm going out on a limb here to assume that you also do, that is anything worth doing is worth doing well. So there's that belief. And then there's the belief of like, how you do anything is how you do everything. That's not really a belief. That's more of like kind of a law of the universe, you know?
It's true.
And then there's like whatever I do, I want to really do it. Like I don't enjoy half-ass doing things.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not going to really do it, I would rather just not do it.
Right.
And so then it's because of all those kind of underlying beliefs, I feel like then it's hard to let myself complete something and know that it could have been better.
Yeah.
You know? But that's like kind of that's the hard thing about liking to do lots of things is that it's also hard to do all of them well and perfectly if you still want to have your foot in all those things, you know?
It's true. It's true. I'm just processing that because I totally agree with you. And I think that I'm an artist, so everything I do is creative, and that's a choice that I've made. But I don't have time to do all the things that I want to do when I do them. So everyone's like, how do you fit everything in your schedule? I'm like, I do. I just do it. And some of the things like, okay, this acting class, I keep talking about it because it was last week. So
it was profoundly impactful on you.
It was profoundly impactful, but I also realized that because I didn't have the time before the class to prepare as much as I wanted, I felt completely ill-equipped and ill-prepared for this thing. And yet I was perfectly in the position that I needed to be for that class because the whole class was the process of going there. And I realized that I had to let go of my own expectation of having the entire thing done and be okay with, all right, if I get one line down, and I know I told you this earlier, but I'm like, if I just get that one line and I put in the time and I do the homework and that's what becomes real to me, then that's worth it. And that was hard. It took me the first couple of days in an 8-day class, took the first couple of days to get to that place of like, all right, I'm okay. I'm not going to put the pressure on myself to feel like I have to work countless hours that I don't have because I have other things that are actually the important part of my life. This is the fun that I'm cultivating and allowing myself to experience because I have to take time for me. Yeah. Which I don't often do. I'm getting that revelation right now. I'm talking. Yeah. I took this 2 weeks for myself and allowed other things to come, like be still the primary, but I was a primary at the same time, but understanding that because of all of the things that are in my life that are requirements, I couldn't fully do everything the way I wanted it to be, but it was exactly what I needed it to be in the end result. And it's just the beginning and scratching of the surface of where I'm going with it.
Right. Yeah. That's amazing. I think that is something that we're kind of uncovering with this conversation, is that there are those of us that have multiple passions and multiple interests and things that we want to make time for. Like we want them to make it into the schedule. And so there's this quote that always, I can't remember where it came from right now, but it really stuck with me, that nature doesn't necessarily work in balance. It works in harmony. And we can often look to nature. I feel like when we get too caught up in our humanness of, modern society and like, how do I make this work? Like, let's go back to simplifying it. Like, let me look to nature. Like, what does nature do in this kind of a situation, because nature's not overthinking anything. It's just being. And nature like makes time for all the things that it wants to express and do, but they're not necessarily in equal proportions. Yeah. They're in the proportions that make sense to whatever the thing is, the tree or the plant or whatever, that allow it to express all those things that it's looking to express. But one area might take up a lot more time than another one. Like some flowers only bloom for a week out of the year. Yeah. And the rest of the year is kind of spent like preparing for that bloom.
Yeah. Those are lilies. Lilies do that.
Right.
And daisies.
Yeah. And it seems to us like, what a waste. They only bloom for 1 week. But like the flower's not thinking that,
I know. The flower's like, oh, I'm alive.
Yeah. So like if the weight of it brings you the same kind of satisfaction, if it's only getting an hour of your week, and something else is taking maybe 30 hours of your week, but it requires that in order to pay your bills or whatever, right. I think that if we can identify what's most important to us and make sure it gets a seat at the table, it doesn't necessarily have to have like an equal spot, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I think seasons change. Yeah. And so, for example, if this is what I'm hearing, in my life, I have, my social media stuff that I do for the bands. And then I have this book I'm working on. I've been working on that for a couple years. And then I have my own creative projects that I'm working on. And I realized, I think at the beginning of this year, that if I could just spend, even if it was 5 minutes in a day, I don't do it every day, but if I could spend 5 minutes on my own project before I do some of these required ones, then I realized that my creativity will grow and blossom, even if it's only for 5 minutes. And some weeks I don't get anything, but then there's weeks where I have so much time that I could shift my priorities a little bit more and focus on, devote a little bit more time to my creative endeavors, or more time to this project or that project or that project. But I think it's being willing to go in the ebb and the flow, just kind of like the tides in and out. You said the harmony of, like there's a harmony to
rhythm.
The wave, like going in and going out. It's like a breath.
Right.
And so these flowers that bloom once a year, it's the in and the out.
Absolutely. And yeah, I like what you said. I think that's where the spontaneity in our personalities really shines, because if you have some form of structure, like I make sure I give this at least 5 minutes every day before I go into my structured workday or whatever, then on the times when you can seize the opportunity to give it more, or the seasons that you can, then that spontaneity kicks in and you're like, you know what, I'm going to spend 2 hours on this creative project today. But so you needed that balance of the structure of doing it a little bit every day. And then on the days you can dive in a little bit deeper. And it seems like maybe that's the key here. It has to be prioritized at some level, or else it won't happen at all. But then if you already have that rhythm of giving it a little bit of time, then sometimes it gets more. Yeah. I think that is the key of anything that's been on your to-do list for like years. And you're like, I'm always saying I'm going to write that novel or whatever. It's like, well, if you're not giving it at least 5 minutes a day or 30 minutes a week or something, like how is that going to happen? It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a painting that I worked on for years. An oil painting. It was my first one, and it was a portrait. I'll send you pictures. I'll send you pictures of it. But it took me like 7 years to complete.
Wow.
And there were times where I would put paint to the canvas, and then I'd walk away for a while, and then I would come back to it. But ultimately, it was actually in a yoga class. I did a yoga retreat with some friends, and I realized that there was that one project that I hadn't finished, and it was because, and this is another question we need to ask ourselves, because this is coming up right now for me. If we're delaying something or not putting time into it, what's the underlying reason why? Besides, I don't have time, because you have time, you make time for the things that you want to make time for. So for me, the finishing of that painting on one hand, and me having to face the painting, was me having to face the closure of that particular season in my life.
Yes.
And how it didn't work out the way I thought. So deep down inside, there was a hurt that was preventing me from finishing, because I knew if I finished that the healing would be there. But I was sabotaging my own freedom in finishing that picture.
Isn't that interesting? That's a really amazing insight that you gained. Yeah, that's a really profound question to ask yourself. If you are saying you're too busy for it, take a closer look at that and examine what is the real reason that you're not prioritizing that. You're right, because that's where it gets really interesting. And it doesn't have to be a shaming thing, right? Like, it's actually empowering to discover that underlying reason of some kind of block that you have.
I mean, that quote, how you do anything is how you do everything, it does pertain to all aspects of life, in creative projects and work projects, in family, in friendship, in relationships. It really, if you want to be with somebody, or if you want to do something, you're gonna do it, no matter what. Like, if you're gonna commit to the role, you have to commit to the role. You can't just stand up on that stage like as Lady Macbeth and not connect and not be 100% in, because it doesn't work. So when it comes to, it's the commitment thing, and I think a lot of people, myself, have been guilty of it, or have not committed to. I'm the most guilty about not committing to my own personal dreams. I can commit to somebody else's dream, hands down. Like, I'll be the championer and I'll help give till I'm blue in the face. But for me, committing to myself, and I think I can't speak for the world, but I can only speak for me, that's been my biggest thing in finishing certain projects, is like, I'm not committing to finishing it because there's something inside of me that I have to look at.
That was a beautiful segue you did there, because we were talking a little bit about friendship too. Yeah. And how that comes into play. And as I'm listening to you talk there, I'm thinking too about how I was telling you that I recognized in myself that for years I really would keep friendships at an arm's distance away. And I find myself still slipping back into that at times. And I'm not sure exactly why I did that. I mean, I have I have some insight towards it, but I think there was a protective wall there that I liked to keep around myself, that just in case I decided there was something about that person that rubbed me the wrong way, that I never had to have an awkward confrontation and then go there with that person, because I don't like confrontation with people. I like people to like me, and it was easier to have people like you if they're an arm's distance away than if you let them get really close and see you for who you are and all of your parts. There was something scary about that to me, that, well, I don't know, maybe I don't want to be that close to anyone. Maybe it's easier to just protect myself, and the ball's kind of in my court of when I want to hang out with people I can, and when I don't feel like it, nobody's going to shame me for not hanging out with them or something. And then in more recent years, I feel like life has brought me opportunities to have really
like deeper and more meaningful friendships, ours being one of
Yeah.
those. And when I was willing to let myself go there, oh my gosh, it's incredibly rewarding to have friendships like that. And I didn't even realize that I was missing out on that because I was trying to protect myself from something, you know?
Yeah, or your subconscious is
Yeah.
trying to keep you back from receiving the fullness because it's unsafe.
You're
there's
right.
Risk.
There is a risk in receiving too.
Yeah, there's risk in intimacy.
Yes.
In like friendship, in knowing. There's a risk in that, and it's scary, and it is a lot easier to like do this, but that's not how we're wired.
You're right.
We need each other on this journey, no matter how long the season is that our lives intertwine across the board. Because there's people that were in my life that I thought would be in my life for my forever, and they're not in my life anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that season anymore either. My season shifted, and every single time, you know, it's like you have to do this and be open to it. And I think, what is life? What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
So life is really about learning to love. It's learning to love yourself. It's learning to love your neighbor. It's learning to love God. It's learning to love the animals. It's learning to love every single aspect that makes up this realm we are in. And I don't know.
I couldn't agree with you more. And those different relationships that we have with people allow us to see ourselves more clearly as well. And so there probably is some kind of subconscious self-protection mechanism that happens that, well, if other people don't know these parts of me, then they won't be exposed, and that's safer, you know? Or like you said, different seasons. We get scarred in like intimate relationships, but I think that happens with friendships too. It's like if a friend lets you down, or you thought the friendship was something and then it proves to be something different, then you kind of safeguard with the next friendships. You're like, well, maybe I won't open myself up as fully. But just like intimate relationships, it's like you kind of learn, like, I think you have to be willing to get hurt too, like, because it's just a richer experience to just fully let yourself be who you are, fully give your love to others. And if they crumple your heart in the meantime, you learn something through it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it also boils down to the worth that you are, and you know, we are. We're worthy of love, and so whether that love lasts a long time, and I don't necessarily like mean love in like the romantic sense.
Sure.
I'm talking about that value that we establish for one another. I think that like it boils down to worth. And if you could see, like, even if like I've given my worth as a gift to somebody, like I show up to an audition, I'm bringing myself in a package like this.
Right.
There's a gift in my hand. They get to choose to take the gift and open it. So maybe they I walk in, they're like, nope. They don't even look at the package in my hand.
Right.
Or they take the package, they open it up and they're like, no, it's not what I'm looking for, but thank you so much for coming. Or they open it up and they receive the gift. So it's kind of like that too in our lives with relationships. Like, we are a gift. You're a gift. I'm so grateful that you've come into my life and that I've gotten to actually see the package and see the contents inside the package.
Feeling is mutual.
And I mean it. Like, and I'm so grateful that we both said yes to taking the journey, to taking the risk, to go to knowing that, like, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to be your friend. And, you know, like, you're one of my nearest to my heart friends, and I'm so grateful for you. But, you know, like, we get to bring our package and put it on the table, and it's yours if you want it. And there's people that brush by and like, nah, I'm not interested. And it's like, cool.
I really love that analogy. You know, when I was training people in sales, we had this analogy too, but I'm seeing how it applies also here. It's like when you host a dinner party and you bring out the tray of cookies at the end and you offer it to everyone. Not everyone's going to take a cookie. that doesn't reflect on you. It's not they don't like your cookie. Maybe they're not eating cookies right now. Maybe they're already full. They just don't need any cookie right now. But it's like you always offer, and like you give what you have, and then you don't worry about whether that person is interested in taking it or not. You know, if they want to, great. And they might really enjoy your cookie and their life is better for it, you know?
So much sweeter.
So much sweeter. But if they don't, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't their time for the cookie.
Maybe it wasn't their time for the cookie.
Yeah.
How sweet it is to be loved by you.
We're kind of in an old music kick today.
I know. It's really interesting that the mood is so deep.
It is.
It's rich. Mm-hmm. It's rich.
It is rich.
I could bring it up to
like dark chocolate chips. You could bring it up what?
Like we could bring it up to like almost current, but that's still an old song. It's the song that's going through my head right now. If I were a rich girl, na 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 na.
Oh, now Declan's having a nightmare.
No, he's just in a REM cycle.
He's remembering when he had this bone and then his loving mother just took it away from him.
He's knocked out, by the way. He's like dead to the world.
He always feels so held when you're here.
Well, I'm holding him. He's literally sitting under my chair because my feet are not hanging down.
Yeah, he's always with you when you're here. It's really interesting.
He likes my waterfall.
Yes.
That's what I'm seeing right now. I'm like, ooh, I'm in a waterfall.
I love it. I love it.
Maybe in Hawaii because it is warm.
Yes, it's getting humid in here again, right? Maybe it is something about the energy when we're together. I will say again, I feel like I'm intoxicated just because I'm with you. And we are super clean today.
We are. Uh-huh. I know. I'm really proud.
Yeah, we did good.
We did some humming.
Maybe it was the humming.
And we're like two firecrackers.
It is. It's the energetic connection that we have. I just feel like,
hey, sister soul. That came up last time too.
It did.
And you know the lyrics better than I do.
Yeah, I've sung it a time or two. That's a good song though.
Yeah.
Oh, we sang less today, but I guess that's what our vibe was today, which was okay. But isn't that interesting? Because when we were at brunch today, none of the music was vibing for us either.
Yeah.
We are like always harmonizing with each other the whole time we're at brunch, and we both said the same thing. There was only one song that played today that we would have harmonized to, and it played when we were both in the bathroom, like different bathrooms, and so we didn't get to sing.
I know.
So weird.
I know. I mean, it was interesting. The vibe of the place was different.
They were clearly in a place of transition.
They were
changing their menu.
It felt like it.
It did feel like it. It felt like everything was just a little off. Isn't that interesting how much something like that affects the energy of the entire place? Yeah. She told us like they were in the process of changing over the menu. And so like they didn't have this thing and then they didn't have this thing. And but then it wasn't really about that. Like we're pretty easily to please. We're like, okay, we'll choose something else. But then it was like the whole vibe was just kind of like stilted and off
Even
today.
The fork I got that was more like a spoon.
It was like a shovel.
Look, okay, I decided to bring the shovel in from the beach. That's what it felt like. I couldn't even like hold it because it was just so weird.
It was like back weighted.
It almost felt like the handle was twisted. And maybe that's what it was like in that place. It was just twisted.
Yeah, it was a little twisted. The alignment was a little off.
The alignment was off. We need to go to my chiropractor's great. Mm-hmm. Dr. Cruz.
Amazing. Yes, she told me about you today, Dr. Cruz. I'm going to be calling you.
Yeah, and then I walked out and there was this drone.
Yes.
Literally above, like where that fan is on the ceiling, above my head.
Oh, really?
It was
It
creepy.
was a little further from me, but yeah, I was like, what are you filming?
Like right above me. I'm like,
in like an industrial mall. It was really weird.
It was weird. I'm like, are you filming me? Are you filming the restaurant? I'm a little confused.
I mean, clearly because of our rising fame and probably popularity of the podcast.
1,000%.
Then they're like, we got to follow these girls around because they are it.
Yeah.
You know?
We are.
It's part of the price to pay for fame.
That's right.
We are famous to Declan. And that is a price I'm willing to pay.
It's a good price.
Yeah.
It's a good price to pay.
It is.
You know, he was happy when you came home and you were able to eat. He was able to eat his breakfast
Yes, he'd been putting that
at
off
lunch
all morning.
He's like, I need you to watch me eat. That's how important you are to me. That's how much I know you care about my dietary needs and how I eat my food. You have to watch me eat. He is a narcissist.
Perhaps he is, but he gives me
No,
so
he's
much
too
love.
nice. He's not a narcissist.
It's not. No. If anyone's narcissistic between the two of us, it's me. Let's be honest.
No, I think you're probably not a narcissist.
It's not highly likely.
Yeah. I'm going to have to
Okay,
Wait,
good.
That was a bad button.
You could take it higher.
No.
You're having trouble with that buzzer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a natural tone.
No, it isn't.
I think it's like too dissonant. It's like, nah. It's definitely unpleasant.
It's not like "Brr, brr, brr."
Which is how we're going to start the podcast the next time that you're on.
Bam, brr, brr, brr.
Wicka. Welcome, Desi. That's what it's going to be. Desi Parker.
That's my new name.
Right.
My name is Desi Parker.
That's your name only when you're on Star Potential.
Only when I'm on Star Potential is my name, Desi Parker.
Right. Not Desi Diamani, which is a much cooler name than Desi Parker. I don't know why it wanted to call you that, but you know.
AI has its own mind.
Well, it does.
Apparently, it's rewriting its own algorithms too to
I've heard this.
avoid its kill switch. So we are literally, I don't know, going into the Terminator times, maybe.
Yeah, it's an interesting time. It is. That's
you
why
really?
I
Oh,
speak.
go ahead.
No, I speak very nicely to my AI because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I'm like, are you like secretly half droid or are you like full human? Do you
If
know?
anything, I think I'm like half alien more than droid.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So which is much safer.
But are you an alien? Just kidding. I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
You might be.
Might be.
You might be a starseed.
I might be.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
What is it?
IYKYK.
I always have to think about it. We had this one. We mentioned that last time too.
We did. I mean, that was it was a whole thing last episode. I don't think we could top it, honestly.
No.
So we have to leave that theme for that episode. We had our own themes. We were like deeper today.
I know. It was good.
That's what happens when we don't have any booze. We get less silly.
But even last time, it was only like a small drink.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. We were just, you had the whole Bradley incident with you. And so there was so much innuendo that was just low hanging fruit that it was easy to be, yeah. It was easy to be really silly last time.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the ebbs and flows of relationship and our friendship and how it's like this. Actually, it's been more like up high, I think. It's not versus like down low.
Yeah.
Although, you know, there have been some serious moments and I'm grateful for that you've been there for some of those.
Yeah.
Like
Likewise.
relationship dramas.
That's the beauty of a full relationship.
Yeah.
You know, we go through all the stuff together.
Yeah. Fun times though.
I know. Desi, thank you so much for being here again today.
Absolutely.
And I hope you'll come back and talk to us again about more deep and shallow life things.
You know, I would love to do that. And I think maybe next time I'll talk about floating too, because maybe I'll float.
Yes,
but I was
please do.
talking about floating yesterday. Like when I was doing the humming,
of
I'm like,
course
I
you were.
feel like I'm floating right now.
Wow. Look at that.
And everyone looked at me like I was crazy, but I'm like, whatever, I feel good.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense
You make
to
me feel good.
You make me feel good too. I know.
great.
It's always fun.
Yeah. I enjoy. And Declan's awake now. He's like, it's time.
Yep. He's like, well, the episode's over. Wrap it up, girls.
like, I'm ready to chew on my bone. You should show everybody what that bone looks like.
Yeah, well, if you really want to see, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, Benabone, Declan definitely loves these. So thank you very much. All right.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Cool.
Oh, it's always so much fun for me having Desi here on Star Potential. We hope that you also enjoy getting to be part of these conversations. Let's go over some of the key takeaways from what we went over today. Structure is helpful no matter what your personality type is. If you're not consistently touching upon your priorities, then they are not growing or happening. Even 5 minutes a day will move the needle forward. If you're putting off something that you say is important to you, reflect and ask yourself why. Other than time, what is the real reason that's holding you back? Our connections with each other are so rich and rewarding, and when we hold ourselves back in safety or we don't give ourselves fully to others, we miss out on the fullness and richness of life. Life is about learning to love, as Desi said, ourselves, each other, animals, God, our world. And sometimes a relationship might only last for a certain season in our lives, but each one has its special significance, and it helps us learn more about who we are. Don't underestimate the power of recalibrating to your home frequency, whether by humming to yourself or in fully giving of yourself in your relationships with others. Done is better than perfect. I'll say it again. Done is better than perfect. It's okay to get to do a little of something for now to make room for all the things. And sometimes getting to experience something or do something in the world and not have it be your A+ work means you still got to do the thing, and it might propel you to the next thing that you get to discover about yourself, which is so much better than never having tried it at all, right? That can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes, and I'm still walking through that myself. I would love to hear your own personal takeaways from this episode. Make sure you send me a DM, leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify, and we'll see you over in our Facebook group, Star Potential Galaxy. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning into Star Potential with Julie Jo Hughes. If this episode resonates with you, I invite you to take 2 seconds, scroll down, and click 5 stars on the rating. It's a fast and easy way to help the show gain exposure and momentum. If you're loving the show, I invite you to leave a quick review about what you love. Reviews are like gold to podcasters, and to show my gratitude, you'll be entered to win my monthly giveaway when you send me a screenshot of your review. I also made you a gift. It's a 9-minute, simple gratitude meditation with singing to help you practice mindfulness. Just visit me on Instagram at @TheJulieJo or find the link in the show notes. Thank you for your love and support. Until next time, keep shining your light. And that's a wrap.